All right, there we go. Okay, I'm going to call the Monday, June 1st, 2026 Select Board meeting to order. I'd like to introduce our clerk, Jim McKay, our vice chair, Ellen Rosenfeld, and I'm Craig Schultz, the chair. We'll start off today with a few announcements. First announcement is a few upcoming events. We have the Taste of Millis, which is going to be held at Tangerini's Farm from 5:30 to 7:30 on June 9th. And it's $20 per person for tickets for that. There'll be live music and food, evidently, going by the name Taste. So it looks like a good event. Is this the first year they did this, or is this?
No.
No.
Last
Okay.
year they did it. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I can't remember if it was hosted at Tangerini's last year, though?
Yeah.
Was it?
Oh, there it says wine,
Yeah.
beer, music, and
Okay,
fun.
nice. Yep.
So we got wine, beer, music, and fun.
I believe it's the third annual.
Okay. Well, fantastic. So it's down there. Tickets are $20. Can you get them at the door, Karen?
Yes.
Or, okay, so you can buy at the door.
Yes.
Okay. Next item, and this is a popular one, the carnival is back in town. That'll be June 25th through June 28th with fireworks on the 27th at 9:30 p.m. So the carnival's open the 25th from 6 to 10 p.m., the 25th from 6 to 10, the 26th from 6 to 10, 27th 1 till 10 p.m., and the 28th from 1 to 5 p.m. with fireworks at 9:30 right out in Town Field. All right. Millis Housing, we have the housing survey coming up, and this is on the town website. This is to help us put together a housing production plan for the town. There is a QR code, which I can't share with you in any way this right now, but it is on the town website, so please go there, take a look, take the survey. It takes a few minutes to complete, and it will help us prepare a housing production plan in conjunction with the Metropolitan Area Planning Council. Any comments on that from anybody? Nope. Okay. And lastly, we have the MCC, which is Millis Cultural Council Arts Festival 2026, Art Building Community. This is June 13th from 12 to 3 in the Roach Brothers Room at the Millis Public Library. And we've got artwork from our neighbors, performances, and many workshops. And this is entirely free. So hope to see you at the library June 13th from 12 to 3. And again, I got a QR code, but this is also on the website, correct?
It will be on the website shortly.
It'll be on the website shortly. Don't go there now. All right. Any other announcements from the board?
Other than Ellen and I
Oh,
went to
yeah.
the Wagabrew
Oh, yeah.
on Saturday, that was pretty exciting. It's
Yeah.
a really nice place.
Good.
Yep.
You're gonna have to move the mic closer, otherwise they're gonna yell at us.
Oh, yeah.
4 inches.
Yeah.
4 inches.
And then let's see.
It was,
Yeah.
just to say on that, I have to tell you, it was quite impressive.
Mhm.
We
Yep.
were impressed at the.
How clean the building was. It was immaculate.
I heard it's
Immaculate.
spectacular.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Great.
They set it up, it flows, it was packed.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it was because it was the grand opening or because it was pouring out,
Yeah, it was
but
nice.
it was packed.
It's great.
And it was just,
Yeah.
if I had a dog, I'd go.
You can bring
I'm
it
just
up.
saying, don't give me any dogs, I don't need any dogs, but if I had a dog, I would go.
All right, I'll remember that. And I was remiss, I didn't introduce our town administrator, Mike Kaczynski, and our assistant town administrator, Karen Beret-Dramarzo. So, sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm out of
We're always
practice.
here.
Yeah,
We're always
Out of
here.
practice.
People know where to find us. And I was just gonna say that if you didn't notice, that we're wearing rainbows in celebration of, or in
Jim,
honor of Pride
So what
Month,
you got
which starts today.
today?
For the
Today.
month of June, and they approved flags to be put out on the front lawn, which we didn't put out today because it was too wet, but we'll put a field of flags out there in honor of Pride Month.
fantastic.
Awesome.
All right. Now we have our municipal moment. So this is a time we have to provide information about things that are happening in the town. And today's is a senior project, so I'm going to turn it over to Nora.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Nora Scannell, and I am a senior at Millis High School. For my senior project, I raised money for the animal control officer and the fire department. I raised money for a horse lift to help horses that have fallen and are unable to get up if they are in a stall or just injured. I raised $5,618.70, and $5,168 is going to the large animal rescue lift, which we received recently. And then the rest of the money is going to the stray animal fund, $450.70. And I'm asking for permission.
She was really fast, so.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was looking at the pictures, I thought we'd be seeing.
I was trying to bring up the pictures and she was too fast.
I
Hold on,
admire
Nora.
efficiency, but.
Very
did a
well
lot of
done,
work here.
no,
Let's
no
get-
worries, but I wanted.
Okay,
I
could
wanted
you
to
repeat that,
see it.
please, for the,
So, that's not a well-looking horse.
No, I didn't know.
I know.
that's before they got the lift.
Real important question. Did you ask Ellen for a donation? She has a large
Yes.
animal.
She thankfully donated a lot.
You're welcome.
So, I don't know, Nora, this is the, I guess this is what it looks like. Look, there it is on his side.
Yeah.
And it lifts him right up, right?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Erin, is that you in the picture?
No.
Oh, yeah, and
Oh,
it's,
look at that.
and it uses a sling to really
Yep.
lift them up, it
Yeah.
looks like.
I could use one of those. Not for the horse.
In case you fall
I
off
was
the horse.
thinking the same thing.
Back hurts sometimes,
Yeah.
you know?
That's pretty cool.
This is very
Yeah,
cool.
Thank you.
So,
Very cool.
do you need our approval to donate the money? A lot of times you have these
Yes.
silly rules. I used to think you can just take money, and it would be nice to be able to do that. And I'm sure there's a motion.
So we have it already?
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah, we have it.
Awesome.
Do you have the motion for that, Ellen?
Oh, motion?
We're a little out of practice.
Who reads the motions?
You do.
Me.
No, yeah. You read them, Jim seconds them,
Right?
Yep.
and I call
Okay.
for a vote.
I move that the board vote to accept the gift of a large animal rescue lift and glide valued at $5,168 from Nora Scannell. I always thought it was Scannell. Either way,
Well, when I'm feeling professional, it's Scannell.
Okay.
is it?
Yeah.
Apparently, you weren't feeling professional a minute ago because you said Scannell. I took note of that, by the way. Nora Scannell, as part of her senior project for use by the Millis Animal Control Department and Fire Department.
The gift too, yeah.
I
Oh,
did.
Nope, there's another motion
There's
right
two.
after this.
Separate
This is, we're nothing if we're not professional here.
So I second this one.
That's the first one, so.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the gift for the large animal rescue lift. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, passes unanimously.
No one said nay.
No one said nay.
Sorry.
Oh, that was good. Good, good.
Yeah, you got your moments there.
I had a moment, sorry.
I'll vote no on the next one.
You're going to vote nay.
Nay. I know. No.
Sorry.
I move that the board vote to accept a donation to the Stray Animal Fund in the amount of $450.70 from Nora Scannell as part of her senior project to be used at the discretion of the animal control officer.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept $450.70. Couldn't come up with 30 more cents? No. Okay, no, $450.70 for the Stray Animal Fund. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm not going to be opposed.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really, very good.
Excellent job.
Erin, did
Excellent.
you have had to rescue a horse before, right?
Oh,
That's what brought this all to light, because generally you have to wait for,
You should come up and talk.
Sorry.
No, you should, because
yeah, because people
I
don't
didn't,
know
e-
about
I never knew any of this.
to wait for 8 strong guys.
It was a couple years ago, yeah, right?
so this equipment here, so when horses are down for any extended period of time, it's dangerous for them. They're not built to be down, their organs, et cetera. That being said, they're big, they're a large animal, you can't just lift them up. So this glide, there's two parts to this package. It's the glide, so if they were to get cast in their stall, meaning fall over and can't get up, you can use a glide to get them in there and then pull it out. The large animal rescue lift it has all different straps, as you can see, and then you could either use, Chief was great, they actually use manpower to get the last horse up, but generally you can hook it up to like a excavator or large machinery to help pull the animal up. So This will definitely help us doing our job, definitely help the residents, and honestly, help the horse, because without them, generally you have to wait for a response team that's trained in this, and they can be hours away, if not even available. So, thank you to Nora, I can say on behalf of the fire department and the animal control department. This was great. Your dedication to the community, the animals, is top-notch. So, great job.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
All right. We'll move on to the next item. No one ever stays for the next item.
No, they never
Thank
do.
you,
They
Mr.
never
Chair.
do.
In your packet is a memo from the Rec Director, Chris Fogarty, regarding the appointment of lead counselors and camp counselors. The Recreation Department would like to recommend the following for the Get Out and Play program with the Millis Recreation Department this summer. With the lead counselors being Lauren Malakwe, I'll guess that one, and Nora Scannell or Scannell.
Oh, she should have stayed. It's
And
like contract signing.
youth counselors, Alex Avakian, Josephina Burr, Caroline Connors, Stone DeLuca, Alicia Ellis, Dylan Fitzgerald, Ruby Fuller, Emma Genovese, Hannah Roman, Molly Rand, and Orlando Soares. So with that, Mr. Chair, I'm asking the board to ratify my appointment of these individuals to the positions as outlined.
So I have two motions, right, Mike?
Yes.
They're split up? Okay.
You could give that a so moved if you wanted.
Oh, should I just do so
You
moved?
could do so moved.
So moved.
Second.
I love that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to make these appointments to the lead and youth counselor recreation department. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, hearing none, it passes unanimously.
Another great program.
Yeah, really are.
Great.
And, yes, it is. And, Mr. Chairman, in your packet,
There we go.
also in the board's packet, are applications of two individuals for the Millis Cultural Council. We have Emily Bernier and Jim Sabitis for consideration for the board this evening.
Is this a two-person
To the
appointment?
Cultural Council.
We appoint
Yes.
two?
Yes, yep.
So there's really no discussion and deliberation, it's appointing
Point
both.
both, right.
Okay.
I move that the board appoint Emily Bernier and Jim Sabitis as members of the Cultural Council through June 2028.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, passes. All opposed? No. I'm not no. No one's opposed. Don't
Two
record
more
that
good
wrong.
people.
Passes unanimously.
Yeah, good people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know a couple. All right. That takes us down to outdoor dining proposals.
So I can speak to this. Arigna Irish Pub and Coal Fire Kitchen sent an email, and they are interested in putting some dining tables outside on, it's sort of, they're calling it the front dining patio. It's kind of the front sidewalk in the plaza. And they submitted a drawing of what they were looking for. And back in 2022, I believe, the Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission changed the regulations. First, you had to send everything over to them. They had to approve it. Now they've left it to the local licensing authority. And if you approve it, we basically send it in and they do an amendment of premises, which means that they allow the outside area to also have alcohol service for that time. So we went back and forth with Arigna through a couple of different departments, building, had them change a few things, look for handicapped access and whatnot. And now it is a point where we're bringing it before the board because we think it's a good proposal. And again, it goes along through, there's other guidelines for outdoor seating that comes from the ABCC, but this checks all the boxes. So I recommend that you move forward with your approval.
Okay, so since I'm the landlord, I'm going to recuse, I'm not going to vote.
Yes, recuse.
And that means you're going to have to make the motion, Jim. This gets
There we go.
complicated.
There we go. I move that the board vote to, do we want to discuss? I think it's a great idea, first
Well,
off.
we can
I-
make
I-
the motion, second
Okay.
it, and then discuss
Yeah,
it.
okay, there we go. I move that the board vote to approve the outdoor dining proposal, alterations of premises submitted by 36 Pub LLC DBA Arigna Irish Pub and Coal Fire Kitchen located at 36 Milliston Road to include 6 4-top tables and 1 2-top table for a maximum of 26 seats in accordance with the guidelines set forth by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission.
Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion?
I just think it's a great idea. I mean,
Yeah.
people, you go to Medway Cafe, it's not much different than anything like that. You go over to, not Stack, what's the one over on back up with the ice cream place there?
We're at Cravings.
Cravings, it's always
Yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah.
One
And
good thing that came out of COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
You're recused.
Yep.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
All right. We are now moving to discussion of select board goals.
Okay, so I am first.
Yes.
So I'm just going to pass these out again in case you need them. These were the select board goals, the existing goals, if you want to review
Yeah.
the current ones. And then what I did was staple together, you each individually submitted your goals to me, so I stapled them together, but what I did in your packet is a draft document, which is sort of everyone's goals rolled into one. But in case I missed anything, or to keep me honest here, you're all here. And you can certainly change the language, but those are the.
Thanks. Yeah.
Have in
This
front
is
of you.
just,
Does that
she
make
did an
sense?
excellent job combining them, but let's make sure they're combined good, accurately. Just take one of each.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there you go.
Well, it said Craig on it. I
That's
was
because those were mine.
The first ones are Craig's, right, because unfortunately, because it's an open meeting, you
Ellen?
can't see each other's
Oh. Yeah, yeah.
recommendations until you're
Okay.
here at the open meeting.
yeah.
Does that make
Okay,
sense?
I got it.
All right, so let's start by reviewing last year's goals. One of them was, the first one was to produce a balanced budget for FY '27, which we did. We submitted a balanced budget, the town voted it, and it was, it did not restore the cut educational positions, but it prevented any additional cuts. And it did add one public safety position. So we did add one police officer, all within the existing budget constraints. So that was quite good. I'm pleased with that one overall. The next category is improve efficiency and reduced cost by consolidating services. We talked about library regionalization, senior service regionalization, DPW and school shared fields, and engineering services and conservation positions. We have had conversations about regionalizing some library services. Those haven't gone as well as they initially appeared they might, but that's something we can absolutely pursue further. Senior service regionalization seems to have gone quite well. Ellen, you've been involved in that. This is sharing with town of Medway. They have complementary, we have complementary programming, and our people can go back and forth quite easily. DPW and school shared field maintenance and snow plowing, we're getting close. But we haven't finished that one yet, so that's a carryover, I think, to this year. I think we all had it on our list. Engineering services and conservation agents to make them in-house positions. That's something that's a little harder than we thought, but have we made any headway on that one yet?
We do have some limited funds
Yeah.
to bring on a conservation agent, 5 to 7 hours per week. Right now, we're in discussions with a few area towns to see if a shared arrangement could work, so that we could find a conservation agent that is interested in the position based on having a couple towns together.
Yeah, and that is, and all of those are designed to reduce costs, spread cost burden out over other towns like we do with DPW, not DPW, with animal control and sealer of weight and measures.
And Mr. Chair, we'll be adding the nurse shortly,
Oh, yeah.
too. We'll
Yes.
regional,
Oh, right.
effective 7/1, and we'll have a nurse.
Put that on our goals for next year.
But they're not on your goals, but just as a.
We'll slide that in. Okay,
And then also for the engineering services, really for primarily DPW, that's something we're looking at, and we could implement depending on how, looking at the budget, as soon as this fall or next spring, if that's something the board is interested in.
yeah, great, great. And we'll look at those for going into the FY '28 budget in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
We were looking to evaluate the indirect and direct cost of the enterprise fund, and we did an evaluation, we did look at it, and we're closing the gap in some areas. More work to be done on that still, but we are closing the gap. It's not nearly as large as it was 5 years ago.
Are we closing the gap, Jim?
Sure,
Okay,
each year.
okay.
Yep.
Will
It's a
it-
little closer.
Will it ever close? Is that
I-
real?
I think that we could close it with, another hire or something
Right.
like that, but if it's not feasible, then
Okay.
it's closer than, like you said, than it was
Ever
5
been?
years ago. Absolutely.
5 years ago, we were
Yep,
off by miles.
Yep.
And I think one more position at DPW, if we can afford it, does close that gap.
Okay.
Or substantially
Yep.
closes it. Okay, so then we have produce a fully loaded budget showing all sources and uses of grants, which we did get during budget deliberation, which was hugely helpful. In the past, it used to be, this is the budget the town's voting, then we have these grants that get added in, then we have HCA funds that are added in, so you never knew how you were comparing to the prior year. This year, it was easy to tell, apples to apples. And that was more internal to the select board, the process of doing it, but it was really helpful. And then lobbying the state to correct the educational funding imbalance. That's just part of our job. We do that every day, and,
We work with the MMA.
Yeah.
And lobbying, and I think of all the goals, that's the one that's closest to considered lassoing the moon a little bit. Just
Yeah.
because the legislature is a tough group to move, but it is a consistent and constant effort, and every time I go to regional meetings, it's talked about.
yeah. And really what happens is they put more money into the formula, and it goes to 8 to 10 towns and cities get the majority of it. We and Norfolk and Medway and Medfield get very little of it by the time it filters through the formula. So the formula needs a complete rewrite, and I think that the last person who understood the formula passed away a few years ago. It's an old formula, or retired. So it's a complicated, old formula that there's not a strong stomach to modify, but I think it's important we try to get there. The next category we had was enterprise funds, Enterprise Advisory Committee. This was meet quarterly with the EAC to review different projects, and we've done that. We've met with them 3 times last year, so we're close. Sewer, dependent upon EAC's findings, Enterprise Advisory Committee findings, to investigate options to expand through sewer capacity through purchase from neighboring towns or requiring on-site treatment plants. So we have been in conversations with a neighboring town. I won't go into a lot of the details of those, but the goal is to acquire some more capacity, which would alleviate any of the issues we have and allow for future growth. Since the real major option for future growth for the town is through housing, having additional sewer capacity is probably the best way to assure we have adequate sewer for housing stock. Water was secure all available grants and legal settlements for PFAS. And we just got another settlement, didn't we, Mike? Yeah.
We did, and actually, another one comes in about every 4 to 6 months. So
Okay.
that's, a lot of work's been done on that.
So we're pulling in a lot of money on the PFAS settlements, and that's great, because we still probably have one more plant to do.
Yep.
Yeah, but we are PFAS-free in our drinking water system. There are wells that are not PFAS-free, but we are not pumping that water for drinking. So we are in a good place now, and we will get to a better place, and Jim's done a lot of work on that when he was on staff. So thank you.
yep.
We're going to use your expertise now as a volunteer, which is even better.
Yes.
Improve town infrastructure, continue funding for road and sidewalks. It's clear that we've put in, and Jen, you're gonna, and Mike, you know the
I think
number.
in the past, like 4 or 5 years, it's been over 2 million
Yeah.
that the town has appropriated, and that's above and beyond the Chapter 90
Yeah.
funds. So, through free cash, so that
Yeah.
has allowed us, and in addition, I know when Jim was the director, he wrote a grant that allowed us to get a large part of Route 109 repaved. And I think that was close to 2 million in additional to that. So there's probably been about 6 million in work done to the town roads in the past 4 years, 5 years. That's substantial.
And that's millions more than any year, any period prior to that. So we're still hearing that they haven't touched my road, but we can't hit every road at once, and we have more in the works coming up when Dave produces his list. So we'll have another $500,000 at least of work done this year.
Oh, I would think so.
Yeah,
It's upwards of three-quarter to almost a million.
Yeah.
almost $1 million because of Chapter 90, yeah.
Chapter 90.
Because we
the last-
appropriated a $500,000 and
Yep.
we had
You
leftovers.
did, yep.
Yeah. Investigate use of town-owned buildings, Lansing Millis and Ellis School and Braun Cassidy property were 3 listed. We had a home run with the Lansing Millis building. Ellis School and Braun and Cassidy properties were also listed, and we've had discussions about the Braun and Cassidy properties as a town use, good, bad, or otherwise. We are investigating uses for it. And the Ellis School is also listed, we just hadn't gotten to that. The Lansing Millis building was the priority for the first project we undertook. And I think Ellen, for the money she raised for that, it's close to $100,000 between grants and gifts and everything else, over $100,000 with grants and gifts for the interior. The town funded the exterior, and that extra money is going straight into making the building usable on the first floor especially.
And we are working on a $25,000 earmark from the state to help with paving the parking
Yeah.
area around the building.
Yeah.
Was that the one,
That was the one that
That's what
the
she
senator
asked.
mentioned
Yeah.
on the day, on
Yeah.
Memorial Day, yes.
She made it sound like a done deal, so I'm counting
Yeah.
it.
Well,
It-
I hope, I like
Yeah.
her, I like her vibe on that then.
Yeah.
seriously, it's not?
Until the governor signs it,
Signs
it's
it.
not a
Oh.
done
Right.
deal. I've been doing this too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
Until we have the check in hand, it's not a done deal.
yeah.
I know, but,
She sounded very.
She sounded
really
very positive
did.
on it, so
They
I think
always
it's got a
sound
high
positive.
probability.
all right.
Continue work on affordable housing through MBTA zoning and state senior and family housing programs. We investigated that quite heavily last year. It was one of our goals. We did defer because we need more feedback, but that was an item that was on our goals at the start of the year, and it has continued through the year, and it'll continue through this year. And then the next one is even more specific, find a suitable piece of town-owned land to gift to the Mills Housing for senior families. So these are the goals we wrote about this time last year, and so that's listed there. And we did begin the conversations, put them on pause while we do further investigation, but that's one of the goals we had, recognizing the need for senior and family housing. Family housing was addressed by the, what was it, 144 Main Street, or is it 144 Main Street project.
Metro West.
Metro West's project. So that's going to be several years out, but it does give an advantage for family and non-senior housing. So we'll be refocusing on senior housing on the next set of projects. And then improve software and online resources for town departments and committees. We acquired ClearGov, and we also budgeting and other tools for ClearGov. And we also put in online permitting,
Yes, we did.
dog licenses.
Dog licenses? You know what?
I don't have a
Dog
dog, so I don't
licenses
know.
are on part,
Yeah.
Well, I can
but
tell you that
I
the
can tell you that
transfer
the
station-
transfer station stickers are, and it's a
They're up
huge
to
hit.
100. I think she's already had 100.
Yeah, huge
I'm
hit
gonna
to have the
buy mine
transfer station
online.
Yep.
stickers,
Oh my
finally.
God,
Crazy.
serious?
Select board licenses went online in the fall,
Yeah. Good.
and buildings, so we're getting there.
Because I was
More
sent home to
progress.
get an envelope with my address on it to get last year's.
And then sent home to get a stamp.
Yes. Okay.
I am not complaining,
people
but I
have
said,
been in
come on,
shock."
I've known you for 20-plus years.
You're missing the very excited people.
People are gonna miss that.
Yeah,
They're interesting.
They're just shocked when they come in now.
yeah. But it was the rules are the rules, and now we can do it online, which is how it
Okay.
should be, so that's
Exciting.
good.
Yes.
I'm excited about that. And we've got more improvements coming, I'm sure, in those. That's great. Economic development, look at getting some more focus on MOD housing overlay districts, like the Millis Center, Jim, you're on planning, the
MCOD?
MCEOD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Millis Center Economic Opportunity District?
Opportunity district.
Got it.
That's it.
That would try to extend that down to include Ann and Hope area.
Yep.
And that basically allows for overlay zoning to put housing and commercial on the same parcel, much like Nappertandy's and the doctor's offices, the Nirvana Tea Room, and then the apartments upstairs. So it's a mixed-use zoning that goes on top of the existing. So the existing owner can develop it as industrial, if he wants, keep it going exactly as is, but if it's sold or if he chooses to change, he has opportunities. It doesn't mandate a change, but it allows for a change. And it'd be more helpful for the town for that to be a commercial/residential than to be
Keep an eye on
straight
Midway.
industrial.
You'll see what's going to happen.
Keep an eye on what?
On
Midway.
Midway.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Kevin Means?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah.
see how that turns out?
Yep.
And really, this is, people say we need to bring more commercial into town. This is the only way we can do it. We can rezone and try to bring commercial in. You can't go out and solicit businesses to come to town. I mean, we do have somebody who tries to do that, but it's very difficult. I'm reminded of our old 20-year-old master plan, and the part that I find so funny is one of the items I thought was never gonna happen. Thought it was silly. Charlie Vecchi and I laughed at it. Bring a cidery or beer brew
and now
pub
it's here.
into the, and it's there. Only took 20 years, but we got it. So it showed up. So that's, things do happen. So this is a great opportunity. Expand town services and programs, clean out some more rooms for senior center, which we've done. Increase services for seniors, which is collaborations, which we've done. Create causes for celebration, the Citizen of the Year, parades, fairs, Pride event, fireworks, which we're doing the Pride flags. We have fireworks. We have the fair coming back. We have the Lansing Millis Award, which was given out last meeting. So there are a lot more causes and opportunities for celebration. Improve external communication, a giant check mark there. If you're watching us on YouTube, we are live streaming meetings on YouTube. And we're putting them out there to be watched in arrears, I know, because people have clipped sections and posted them.
Yep.
So they exist. Confirm subsidized housing inventory number, which we have done with Bob, and 5.7 is where we are right now.
Yep.
There's a lot of debate on what it was, but we have a number that is the official number. And continue website improvements. That goes for our online permitting plus all the other work we've done. Do we have another website coming in now?
We
Karen?
do,
Yeah.
we do.
So we got that kicking
That'll
off.
be-
Plan is to roll it out on July 1.
Okay,
It'll look a little bit different, but it'll have the option to actually put an app on your phone, which will be for the website, where you can get actually live updates.
We get push
Perfect.
messages from the town
We can
hall.
push messages out, so,
Wow.
yeah, we're working on it.
we were
Some
really
progress.
fascinated by online permitting, because here it is a third time.
Yeah.
That's how important it
Yeah.
was.
And investigate a Saturday town meeting, which we did talk about, but we didn't implement. We talked about doing
No,
that for the
we
fall.
didn't. Are you the one, Mike, that said statistically speaking, the same number of people come to us?
Yes,
Problem.
Yeah.
yes.
You said that,
When we had the.
but they're
yeah.
different people, or
Yes,
no?
it can be a little different. You know, in some of the reviews that were done and on it, it still tends to, the average age tends to be like in the 50s, 60s that attends town meeting. And it's this, you know, there was a thought that Saturdays would change that, but it's still pretty similar. But it might be slightly different people, but the
Right.
same demographics come to those meetings. So unfortunately, there's no perfect time.
Yeah.
Some
Right.
people prefer the weeknight evenings, some people prefer a Saturday morning,
Some people
um,
don't prefer one at all?
and some people prefer not to show up at all.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, the biggest demographic is the senior demographic. They come pretty much regardless.
Right.
And trying to find a way to get younger people to show up is difficult.
I know that it was, a few years ago, a lot of people mentioned the Saturday meeting. I haven't heard that in a few years. I don't know if it's because we haven't done it, and they say, why am I bothering?
Yeah.
But I haven't heard it, so I don't know what the appetite is for it.
It was COVID, and it was a lovely day, so I'm glad we did it, but,
I know. I don't
but,
know.
yeah, finding, I think more investigation is needed.
Yeah.
All right, any comments on those goals from anybody at this table? And we'll move on to this year's. Yeah, thank you, Scott.
Scott Fusey for 11 years. So congratulations on the goals. I remember when they first started, I said, how far will we get? We have come a long way tremendously. Sidewalks and roads is one of them. I will be one that will praise Exchange Street. I love it. I love the fact you can walk in the middle now. You feel safer. You can walk down Exchange. I think it's great for the businesses. They're very happy with it, so thank you. I know, Jim, you spearheaded that, so thank you in your time in that. And obviously, the goal is to improve more sidewalks and more roads, but we're getting there. I've driven through towns with more money and their roads aren't as good. I've driven through Norwood,
Yeah.
Norwood, and I don't know, their roads just aren't as good as ours. So I think our roads are awesome, considering the budget we have and stuff. We should be proud the way we're doing it. The one thing I wanted to bring up is the regionalization, like Park and Rec. I know with the additional more fields, at some point, maybe looking to join another community with their Park and Rec to help the DPW out, adding additional staffing to the DPW, especially with the talk that's come on and off about maybe adding another field, so that might be something to definitely look
Yeah.
at going forward. But congratulations to the board and the town on the goals. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Scott. We'll move on to the consolidated one that Karen sent out, and I'll just start at the top. We basically rearranged a few of the headers. We got rid of, I believe we got rid of the Enterprise Committee and rolled it into budget. And it's important to realize, just because something may not be listed, it doesn't mean we don't want to do it. For instance, we're going to fund roads. That's a priority in the budget, but I don't know if it needs to be a goal, you know, but it's one of the goals. But we'll see what we got here. So starting at the top, I'll just read down and we'll take comments as we go. I'll go through each major section, and we've all added some comments to it. Financial management, FY '28 will maintain the equitable split of revenue between municipal and school departments. We'll produce a balanced budget, kind of mandatory, with a minimum of level service funding for all municipal departments. I can't say what the school is, I don't know their contracts, but hopefully we can do the same with them with the equitable split. We'll fund growth above level service for one additional municipal position is our goal. I don't know if that's going to be possible, that depends on revenue, but the goal would be to add one public safety position, either police, fire, or DPW. Obviously, if we can do more, we'd like to do more, but that would be the goal. And I think the most important one, and this one is new, is assure that the school resource officer is funded from taxation. Right now, it's funded through HCA funds, and those go away. And that might jeopardize the ability to add a public safety position, but it is maintaining one, so it's about the same. Any comments on that little section from the board?
Are we each gonna, I just have a question. Are we each gonna go through our pages, or when one of our items hits one of yours, should we do it then?
I've highlighted who has what, I've lost the page, but I will ask you to comment on yours.
Okay.
Hi, Select Board.
Hello.
Heidi Gilmore, 13 Evergreen
I've
Terrace.
lost my list of goals, so bear with me.
Hold
I got
on, he
fancy.
lost his
There we
list,
go.
so we have no goals anymore.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good.
So I'm curious, when we talk about like improving efficiencies and consolidating services, when the whole discussion of regionalizing the school came up a while ago, I think Robin had some discussions with her counterpart in Holliston. And although the school obviously didn't go in that direction, there was some receptivity to trying to regionalize special education services. I'm wondering if in the discussions with the school to gain efficiencies, that discussion has gone anywhere.
That was our next item up, so you jumped the gun just a little
Oh,
bit. But
sorry.
anyway, but I'll speak to that. We do not get involved in those discussions. That's clearly a school thing. There is what is it called, Mike? There's a separation.
I'm not sure the term.
Yeah, I
I'm
can't
thinking
remember.
of.
The
But-
school
but
committee has their role, we have our role.
They're in, except for the annual budget, which is run through the finance committee and town meeting, they are essentially an independent body.
Right.
And under state law, any type of regionalization has to start with the school committee. So certainly, members of the public and elected officials, could have individual discussions encouraging the school committee and school administration to look at that. Any real political energy there would have to come through the school committee. So it's certainly something that the board could discuss to encourage.
Yeah.
But that's probably as far as they could take it without the school committee taking the reins of that and carrying it forward.
Yeah, and I would argue that you're probably on the finance committee in a better place than we are to have that conversation.
So I did ask the question of the superintendent, and I will raise it with the school committee.
Yeah, I think because you do evaluate both budgets, and that does have budget ramification. So I
Yes.
think that's a great place for the finance committee to get involved.
Yes, and I'm aware of the separation
Yeah.
between town and school, but I just thought if you're having discussions about trying to find efficiencies, I was curious if that had come up at all.
Well, I do know they have done a lot of the regionalization for transportation and other things that make sense.
Good.
But, I mean, I know there's been headway there. They don't celebrate, they don't read their list of accomplishments and check them off like we do. But I know they
They
have had
should.
some, they should, because I do know they have had successes on the transportation side, which is one of the bigger pieces. We already have regional collaboratives in place that are doing things, but transportation was an area they were particularly interested in.
And I know there are some collaborative groups in schools that handle some of the special education services that a number of the area towns belong to, and that's less expensive than having students go to purely private institutions. So I know, and again, I'm sure Bob Mulaney could speak to that much more detail than I could, but I know that there are regional initiatives that they have undertaken. They're just not as broad in scope of saying regionalizing multi-town high school, something like that, so.
Actually, yeah, I'm going to do a little one better. And Karen, can you put that on the agenda? Because I will forget for the next tri-board meeting. There we go.
Excellent. And I will raise it with the
You'll be
school
there.
committee
You'll be
as
there,
well.
so I'm trying to help
I
you out.
will. I know. I will.
See, I will have forgotten that I said that. That's why I asked her to write it down.
What's good is they'll be able to explain
Yeah,
some of the
Yeah.
initiatives that they just spoke of. I know there's one for 21 older kids.
right.
Yeah.
When they age out of school, up to the 22.
Right.
And Jim,
Yeah.
you're going to have to get closer to the
I'm
microphone.
sorry.
They're going to come down and they're going to yell at us.
And he usually does it on the.
All right, I just know that seemed to have some traction.
Yeah.
And in this discussion about consolidating and
Yeah.
trying to regionalize and trying to share costs, it just seemed like a good time to raise that again.
No, I think it does make sense. We'll put it at the tri-board, but it's not a goal for us because we don't
Right.
have any control over it.
Right, I understand. And then second topic is the online permitting. I actually used it Friday night to get a sticker for the transfer station. Well, I didn't get a sticker, but I printed out my screen receipt, and I was able to go over there Saturday morning and get rid of a mattress. So that
Excellent.
was
Yep, yep.
awesome.
How, did you
Oh, you
have,
beat the
is
rate.
awesome.
did
beat
you
the
have to
rate
pay the
increase,
new
didn't you?
rate for the mattress?
Did I what?
Did she beat
She
the
beat the
rate?
rate.
No,
Oh,
I
you
did
didn't.
not.
I'm not going to say I'm unhappy about that.
So I,
No, but I'm
Why
thrilled
do
to
you
hear
think
that
she
someone
beat the
used
rate?
it and
I thought it was
it
June 1st.
Oh.
was fairly simple to use, I hope.
It was fabulous. I did it from home because our son moved back home. We had a mattress we had to get rid of. And Friday night, I'm like, oh, what are we gonna do? So I went online, I found it, I entered all my stuff, I paid,
So excited.
printed out the receipt, and we went over Saturday morning.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and
I
the
know what I'm
guys
doing next
at the
weekend.
DPW station were super helpful.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
That is
just
so,
wanted to pass that
that is
along.
so great. You can pass those along.
Now, moving on to efficiency, since Heidi teed that up so nicely.
That was nice.
We're looking at areas of efficiency still. Library and senior center, again, obviously, those are something I'm really interested in, and I think we all are. The next one was on the old list, but it's been modified by Jim and by Ellen. So Jim started out by adding a sentence, DPW and school, shared field maintenance and snow plowing. And then Ellen put in the sentence, consider creation of Parks and Rec Department and investigate leasing of fields to ensure town funds are properly allocated.
And I think we both agree on, just maybe different wording, but it's the
Yeah.
exact same
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Meaning,
Okay.
same meaning.
Because what I'll do after this is over, I'll take it and over lunch one day at work. I
And redo
will-
it, yeah.
I'll consolidate and
Wordsmith.
try to clean it up.
I was mostly, on this particular thing, I was mostly concerned when Kathy Smith came and talked about the noise. And nobody seems to have control over these tenants, lessees, whatever you want, you
You're
know,
right.
right?
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, a more
we don't-
centralized, consolidated
We don't know
department.
anything. We don't know
Because
if
it-
they,
Because it spills between
I know.
the municipal, the school, and then private groups, it's much more difficult to really monitor and enforce. So, I mean, I totally agree that if we were to set up something that's kind of more centralized
This is-
and formatted,
Yes.
then we can much
The
more, you know, we
The
can
first,
enforce
the
these much
the
closer.
first thing we have to do is get a meeting
Yeah.
together with all, whoever
The entities,
touches
right?
any of this, and figure out what is it that we have.
Right.
Because I don't know what we have. And
Yeah.
who now is controlling it. And then from there, we can figure out how to make it better. So,
I mean, you've already done it. When you implemented the maintenance of the
Yeah.
building, this is just
Continuing it on.
continue it,
Yeah.
and it's as easy
Yeah.
as doing that.
Oh,
Well, I
good.
say easy, when you get, you just said,
I
get
know.
everybody in the room and
Yeah.
We
and
have a
hash it out,
framework.
but.
We
just
need to
Jim,
do
I'm
it.
I'm
put the
starting to
actual
hear that this
pieces
might
in.
be an area where you might be of
Yep.
huge help
We
and make our
we
subcommittees.
need to do this,
Me and Mike?
seriously. And
Yeah.
not, I don't want
Mike
to,
will be the referee.
Yeah,
I don't want to let the
Round
whole
and round with
season
this,
go
but yeah.
by
yeah.
before we do it.
We'll start it right
Yeah.
away.
No, priority.
That's big.
The next item we had was engineering services, which is similar to last year, conservation agent and others. Then we also have, now Jim, this was yours, in-house state reporting for all enterprise funds?
So, we were too late to the table. This is something I've probably been talking to Ellen about for years, about getting, whether it be an engineer or someone that is capable of filing all the state reports that we do through, that we're paying Kleinfelder, GCG, who else, the Weston and
Right.
Sampson, so and so and so and so. We actually have the ability now, we have the personnel working for the DPW that can actually do this. So they're
Okay.
in place, and it's like I said, it was too late for the Maytown meeting.
Yeah.
And it's something that Mike and I had talked about, maybe looking for the November, or at least now David can sit down and, you know, we can hash that out for,
Right, it's
Perfect.
potentially
Future.
a lot of net savings there.
Oh,
You're-
yeah.
You're basically not
Right.
paying these outside engineering companies
Right,
that
I
are
get
not
that.
cheap, and you're
I know,
using a
but-
part of that to pay the in-house staff.
I
Yeah.
get that, but why does it go to town meeting?
Funding.
well, we'd have the fund, it'd be a new hire.
We'd have to get the
Oh.
We'd have
funding.
to have a
Yeah,
new hire.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the new
Yeah.
hire would be
Would
much
be
less expensive than what
than-
we're paying
Right.
currently
we've been
for all
talking
the
about that.
outside
Yeah.
engineering
Yes.
services.
So we'll look at, so I'll leave that as a standalone
Yep.
item with the other ones.
Scott Fusey, 411
Yes.
Union. Speaking of regionalization, is that something you could do, regionalize with another town with engineering? Like look to see what Medway and Medfield and Norfolk, maybe, you know, so many hours in each town?
Yeah.
You know, that's something definitely to look
Discussion
at.
to be made.
Thank you.
Yep.
It might be regionalization, yeah. All right, so that, I understand that one now, I'll be able to make some
Yep.
notes on it and flesh it out a little bit more. But basically, and that's outside of the budget growth if you do it right.
Right.
Because you lose the consulting fee on an expense line, but you add payroll
And you
services, so
change
it
it.
bounces out about the same. Next one was mine, which was set aside excess free cash for Tri-County school construction while looking for a permanent funding solution. And I put that one in there because it's, until we get some significant new growth starting again, without an override, we don't have a funding source. But, and I don't want to propose an override for it. So as we get new construction in town, if another, $1 million tax revenue site, or several of them, the total million, we could start pulling the first 350,000 and put it towards Tri-County and the operating budget. But until then, if we've got excess of $2 million of free cash, and we fund roads and we fund everything else we need to do with free cash, I don't want to just put $300,000 into stabilization. I'd like to put it into this to buy us more time, because that's the way we've managed this town, without having a successful operational override in 22, 23 years. We always have to wait for the next burst of growth to be able to get something accomplished. So this buys us time, because one of the things, cash is cash. And if we can get it in, and we bought ourselves 3 years, 2 more years now, if we can get another year out of it and then another year out of it, eventually there'll be a growth spurt again. And when that happens, we can start earmarking that new revenue straight for Tri-County. But until then, I don't see it makes any sense to cut departments or ask for an override if there's other funds available. And eventually that may be the case, we start making cuts, but I'd feel really bad cutting teachers, police, fire, DPW, just to put 350,000 into stabilization. So that's my thought on it. I don't think the voters would appreciate that either, cutting services to put 350,000 in stabilization.
This is a proper use.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some,
There's some people that think it's not a proper use, and,
why would they think that?
well, because budget items should only be paid for out of recurring funds. on best practices. But better practices are to use available funds if you understand how you're using them. You shouldn't bake it into the budget. We used $900,000 of free cash to pay for the school issue when we thought it was a one-year issue, and then it wasn't, and then the cuts were made. You can't go into it blind thinking you've solved the problem if you use free cash, but to use it for a short-term or a project that is clearly defined in its tenure, and this is, we need money to fund Tri-County until we get a permanent source of money to fund Tri-County. Now, if we have no free cash next year, if there's no funds to do this next year, then well, we've bought ourselves 2 more years. So in 2 years, if we don't have more free cash coming in or a permanent solution to the tax base, we can still fund it. After that, we will have to start making cuts.
This is if I may, this is a very unusual situation where you have, locally, if you were building a large capital project, it just wouldn't happen unless
Right.
there was a debt exclusion. But in this case, because of the way the contract, the regional agreement is set up, it just requires a majority of the voters and not every town to approve it. And so we were one of the few towns that did not approve it. We were 22 votes short of the debt exclusion approval. And because of that, the town is forced to pay this debt, whether there's a debt exclusion or not. And that's an unusual circumstance. And, I think the board trying to keep the impact of that away from the citizens for as long as possible is really helping the people of the town for a period of time, either until we can figure out another solution, or as like the chairman said, unfortunately, at some point, it may come to a debt exclusion in 4 or 5 years if there's no other solution put forward, or there'll be cuts to the operating budget. So those will be the options at some point. But for the time being, we're keeping that, that ask of the taxpayers for a debt exclusion, pushing it off, at least for now.
And last year, we were sitting on $3 million of free cash, and we funded $500,000 of roads, and we funded all of the capital requests, and we funded all the other items that were on the list. I didn't want to take $350,000 and just put it in stabilization, and then cut police, fire, DPW, school, council on aging, library. Just didn't make sense from a programmatic standpoint. They actually put $1 million into the reserve, almost $1 million, right? Yeah.
Yep. So if I could just quickly make a comment on that, and I'm not looking to ask any change of what's been decided for the next several years, but I would look at, I'm glad you said that we're not proposing or looking for an override or to push an override like that as of today.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, and that things could change, that, there could be an override. I think that the town administrator and the finance director, we know the ability of what we know what's going to be due us each year for this project, and it's just getting increasingly going to go up and up each year as the debt comes on. And I'm not looking to do a scare tactic or anything else like that, but what would be could they come up with, and I'm not asking this for today, or when budget season time comes, what would be the scenario if we don't have those funds? What would have to be cut? If it's, and again, I'm not trying to scare people into it, but I think that the public should be aware that, this is, what was done is done.
Right.
And I'm not looking to change it, but this, in several years, this is the possibility of what we've added over the last 2-3 years. There's a good possibility that, whatever, it could just be all washed away
Yeah.
because of that.
And the way it would work is, let's say it stays at $350.
Yep.
Because we're only paying the construction portion, not the student portion. So the tuition is still paid out of operating budget. So this is just construction. And let's say it stays at $350. Let's make that easier. Let's say it stays at $300. Drop it a little bit, because I can do the math in my head then. But if it stays at $300, that would be a $200,000 cut to the school budget and a $100,000 cut to the municipal budgets. So putting that in perspective, that's a couple teachers or a police officer or a lot of part-time in a lot of different places. And who knows what it'll be, but that will be something we fortunately don't have to think about until FY30. So we've got really 2 years of funding in there now. If FY30 things don't turn around or we don't get additional funding, then we do have to have that conversation.
I just see that, you know,
Yeah.
building what's out there for building right now, I think that we know what we have.
Yeah.
We know what the projection's gonna be. I mean, we heard the finance director state that revenue is coming in, it came in lower last year, it
Yep.
came in lower this year, and she's projecting, I mean, she hasn't projected anything, so I don't wanna speak for her, but she did say that during her presentation. I think it's something that we should keep in the back of our mind and keep the discussion going, that eventually, someday, that, you know, we're gonna have to pay for this.
Yeah.
And not that we're not paying for it, I'm not saying we're not paying for it, but, you know, what is the, you know, could be the bottom line.
Yeah, and hopefully, and this has happened every year since I've been on the finance committee for 30 years. We go real dry spells, then all of a sudden you get, if not Glen Ellen was the windfall, but there's always something that rolls in that gives you, instead of new growth being 300,000, it shoots up to 700,000. And right now, we're at 700, so if it shot up to 1 million in the next 3 years, because something else comes on, that's permanent increase to your tax base, and that 300 would just about offset the Tri-County need. So that's what we're looking for, and we'll see how it goes.
Scott Fusey, 411 Union. What are the other communities doing that had to be in the same
I
boat?
think
that
most
paid
of them
Tri-County?
absorbed it in their budgets.
Some communities like Medway had so much additional capacity
Yeah.
because of the battery storage plant and that they had that within the cap. And most of the other towns approved a debt exclusion that had a significant population at Tri-County. A few of the towns have a very small population, so
Right.
they were able to just absorb it.
Medfield pays for 5 kids.
Yeah.
Well, Medfield's apples and oranges, I'm
Yeah,
not
well,
going
they only
there.
have 5 kids on their list, too.
But I mean, it wouldn't hurt, we have 2 years, and that's a good move, to talk to the state reps and see what they can pull out of. But one of the worst-case scenarios we would not want to see, and I wouldn't want to see, is cuts in anywhere. Public safety, which is strained now, fire, which is strained now, the schools are strained. That would strain them even more, so.
Yeah.
Let's hope we can, this is what our state reps are for. Hopefully, let's hold their feet to the fire and say, hey, we need some help here, so. But we got 2 years to do it, so, thank you.
Yeah. All right, the next item is continue to evaluate correct and indirect costs for the enterprise fund. This is almost verbatim off the old one. I would probably combine that with Jim's in-house reporting, just to try to clean up.
Yep.
My whole goal is 1 page of goals. That's my most important goal.
Your most important goal is one,
Reduce
is
this
to
to
shrink
one-page
your
goals.
I have lived my entire professional career with no more than 1
1
page.
page?
I can accomplish 1 page in a year. Okay.
Fair.
And then the next one was lobby the state to correct educational funding and imbalance, and that's just a given. And I put that with everything else. We will continue to talk to our state reps. I don't know if that needs to be an item or not, because that's just part of our job. But it's important that we say we're doing it, because we do it on a regular basis. Yeah, and then moving down to the next item, we have improved town infrastructure. There it is, continue funding for road and sidewalks. I knew it was on there. So we'll keep road and sidewalks going as much as we possibly can. We will start discussion regarding additional PFAS plants. That's Jim, and then Ellen said, or maybe I have that backwards. Nope, that's right. And Ellen said, and secure all available grants and settlement funds for PFAS remediation. I think that makes sense.
Yep.
I think it speaks for itself, and we understand it. Improve software and online resources for town departments and committees. We've gone a long way. We have not finished implementing the, now it's more implementation for the ClearGov
And the website.
and the website. So we have a couple items there, but we're making good headway. Next, continue to work towards affordable housing, and I broke this was mine. Well, it was on last year's, but I broke it into a couple different levels. First, we need to define scope and need for affordable housing. We got to answer the question, do we want it and do we need it? And then because we kind of jumped into it with both feet before, so I'm going to wade in slowly into the ocean this time. Then we'll come up with a draft RFP to see what it should look like, because Candace has pointed out she's more than willing to put together a RFP in concept, work with us to do that. So items that will be addressed in the RFP include traffic study, parking, lighting, height, and massing. She won't say what the answer is, But any RFP that we take to the town will include these items. Location agnostic, because until you know the location, you can't finish the, you can't really do a final full RFP. Putting in that it'll be, only seniors, and that Millis residents and veterans will have priority in perpetuity, because she can commit to that. And I did speak to her, and she did point out, you have to have legal status in the country to qualify. You cannot be here without legal status. Legal status can be temporary protected status, it can be green card, it can be H-1B, it can be a citizen, it's any of those things, but you cannot be here. You cannot be given housing unless you are here with legal status. And she said of the 9,000 people's on the list right now waiting for it, she'd be hard-pressed to guess there's more than 3 or 4 that might be, and they'd be denied when they got to the final approval process. Pretty serious about that. There are other programs that provide housing for non-citizens, but this is not one of them. And then the last step was propose a site for the housing, and that's where we, that's the last step, and we decide where it should go. And that would be looking at all opportunities. And Jim, you added, consider creation of an advisory committee to assist with this goal.
Yeah, and again, I think what you put down in all you read, I think the only way we can really get to a conformed consensus is through an advisory committee that could assist us, in making a recommendation or, reviewing everything that, the RFP and stuff like that, other than
Yeah.
just the 3 of us.
Yeah, and I would take that a little step further. I think my view of it is that this is probably one of our most important jobs, not to get the
Yep,
housing,
no.
but to do it right.
Yep.
So I would be hesitant to delegate that out to a committee. Having said that, I think having having open meetings about it and having concerned citizens want to speak to us about it, and having the RFP for review, so having a meeting where that's discussed, basically us acting in lieu of the committee.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to drag it out too long, and committees
Yeah.
tend to drag it out. And this is a very important decision for us and the public, and I think the discussion should be between us and the public,
Yeah.
but that's my thought on the
Yeah,
difference.
I just think that, an advisory committee with the public, being, just like the committee that Duffy runs, emergency, what are the economic
Yeah.
development, whatever they are.
The
Um,
Enterprise Committee.
The Enterprise Committee, I just can't see how it can't hurt. And I understand it's ultimately going to be our choice, and our vote that's going to be,
Yeah.
3 votes here is going to make that decision.
Yeah, so, well, I think having a formal process that the community can be involved in makes a ton of
Yep.
sense. We can discuss that more as we
Sure.
get further into it, but I
Yep.
think we're in agreement
Yep.
that having those 3 points on the scope and how we get there, and whether there's a formal group that we speak to, however that works. I just want to,
Yep.
November might be too quick, but if we go out for May, I want to make sure we don't just lose it in committee. Duffy's group is a permanent
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
standing
Yep.
committee.
Yep.
And, I mean, the old trick in politics is form a committee and it disappears. You
That's
you
where-
delegate it.
What they say, that's where something go to die.
Good ideas go to die.
Right. Something like that, I don't know.
Yeah. Yes.
Paul Simpson, 52 Island Road. Glad we all survived the meteor.
Yeah.
Also what?
Glad we all survived the meteor.
Agreed.
We thought a tree hit our house,
Yeah.
and we ran out, and then all the neighbors ran out at the same time. It was probably going on all over Millis, but, yeah, it was crazy. Just to continue a little bit on maybe it's kind of communication of this. I know that you've all said there'd be some investigative work going on, for public housing over the course of the summer. You only meet like once, during July and August, which is the way.
Actually, may I just make one correction
Yeah.
there? I said we're not going to be discussing this over the summer.
Oh, you're not?
We're
Okay.
not, because we think it's not fair to have any important discussions over the summer when people are out of town and on vacation.
Okay.
So we're going to pick it, that's why I just now said maybe we push it from November to May to give us plenty of time to discuss it, because we don't want to do it in a vacuum when people aren't around. There could be a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, like we might have a conversation with Candace, or one of us may have a conversation with Candace saying, prepare a little RFP for a draft. But we won't discuss that publicly or even as a committee until after the summer.
Okay, great. Well, you were leading into where I wanted to go anyway. If there are things going, whenever the timing is, if there's something going
Yeah.
on behind the scenes, could you, please report it out, you know, in a select board meeting, whether it's a dedicated item or part of a liaison update, just so, I mean, I think you all experienced what happened in March and
Yeah.
April, and I think we all want to like avoid that situation happening again, so anything you can do to like inform the public
Yeah.
would be beneficial and appreciated.
Yeah, I will be, as long as I'm chair, there'll be an item, when the item is discussed, it'll either say affordable housing as we go through points 1 and 2, and location when we get to item 3. But it'll be clear that it relates to affordable housing on every agenda that we discuss it. Not every agenda, but every agenda where it's discussed, we'll have that listed.
Okay,
So you can see that clearly.
okay, great,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. Next item down was continue to discuss Franklin regarding the purchase of sewer capacity, which is also covered in economic development bullet point. So I'm just going to strike it there and move it to the second page, which will soon become page 1. Meet quarter with the enterprise committee to review construction development projects and sewer capacity. Probably blend that into the other sentence, Ellen, unless you had any issues with that one.
Nope.
Oh, this is a personal favorite. Remove chicken coop and old equipment at Braun property.
You missed the Ellis School.
Oh, I'm sorry, investigate repair of the Ellis School.
Okay,
Yeah,
that was mine.
yeah.
So, as everybody knows, we're done with the train station. And I know that Nate Maltinsky has a fondness in his heart for the Ellis School. So, we should take a look at the Ellis School. So I'm going to contact Nate and maybe bring some subs over like I did and take a real hard look at it. Personally speaking, I think we should take all the boards out one at a time and sell them. And then clear the lot and sell it, because I don't see any value to this building. But that's just my personal opinion. We got to go out there with a different eye. I always, for the train station, I always knew there would be a use. I always knew that there would be a use. How can there not be? It's 2,500 square feet. It's got bathrooms. It's got everything. I don't see a use for the Ellis School. I know people say we can use it as a meeting house, function room. There's no floor. There's no bathroom, there's no plumbing. Is there sewer up there,
No.
Jim?
Nope.
There's no sewer.
No water
So
even to it.
there's no water. So it's falling, but it's 4 walls, there is nothing inside, nothing. There are 4 walls. But maybe it's something.
Yeah.
So we
When-
gotta make a decision if we're gonna move forward or not.
Yeah, when I was on the finance committee, this came up, and there was a request for, I'm gonna say it was about $1 million to renovate it. That was a full historic renovation.
Yeah,
And-
that's my question. Is there a study?
Yes.
Yeah,
Have you seen it? Have you
Oh, yeah,
read
she
it?
did, they videotaped it.
I
they
saw the
did
LiDAR and
walls,
everything else from it,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
And
But-
was there a number to restore it?
I think
remember.
the
It was-
cable actually has a,
Yeah, it was quite a while ago.
yeah, they-
Yeah.
I think the
Charlie
cable.
was still here.
yeah. it
I
was
gotta
under
find the
Charlie.
study.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Yeah, but it was quite expensive,
Yeah,
and there
it
was,
was.
and it was the same discussion. I remember Mike's predecessor, Charlie, saying, sometime old is just old. It's a great building, it has some history, but it has horrible bones.
Yeah.
It's gonna basically be a gut rebuild, and you could build something that looks like the Ellis School, but without plumbing and water, it can be a beautiful building to look at, but it doesn't have a strong purpose.
know what the-
But having said all that, we should investigate it and update our plans, yeah.
Wasn't there something in the deed or somewhere that it
Yeah, it's
has
supposed to be
used
educational.
as educational?
Yeah, but I talked to Jay about that, our town council, and that was like,
He thinks
it
it's
is,
a big
I
deal.
believe it's the old,
1800s.
is it the oldest
It's one of the-
building?
yes, in Millis.
Yeah, it's
So
way
it
older
is
than the train
town, or
station.
Something that you have to use it for education.
He
Yeah.
said you,
Perpetuity, but,
he said you could
but
probably get a,
If it wasn't used for educational uses, it was gonna revert to whoever the heir was, but that was
Right.
1800s heirs, and right now we
so I
don't
told,
know who that is.
so I told Jay, we'll get a bookcase and we'll throw a couple of books in there and it's educational
Yeah.
purpose.
So we're not abandoning the idea, but it's gotta go from $1 million down to the couple $100,000 range to make
I mean,
it
it's
feasible.
Yes.
Personal opinion, it's just kind of an eyesore right now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Mess
It
with the
is.
street,
It
I'm
needs
afraid
to be
something's gonna
taken care
happen.
of.
Someone's
You
gonna get
drive right
hurt.
by it, you have no idea it's
Can't
there.
even see it anymore.
Yeah, it needs to be taken care of.
Someone did just cut, I don't know if it was Nate who cut the
Yeah.
shrubbery.
Probably. He
Yeah.
maintains everything in this
Yeah.
town.
But,
Yeah, so we will investigate it, we'll see
We
what it
will.
is. We will get a definitive
Yes.
number, and we can discuss definitive uses.
yeah.
And if the best, highest and best use based on a year of study is sale, then it's a sale lot. If it's rebuild it, it's rebuild it. If it's
It's something.
something. I mean, and, you know, and the other piece was comparing it to the train station. I worked for the trustees for 3 years, the only 3 years of my life that I haven't worked for the YMCA. But those 3 years, we would take old buildings like the train station and just fix the exterior and just call it a piece of sculpture, you know, an old house, until we got the money to fix the interior. So we'd make it look pretty, we'd make it weather tight. You could go up and look at it and see the Bradley Estate in Canton was that way. Now they fixed the first floor. They haven't done the other floors yet. But you stabilize the exterior, you do the interior slowly over time.
Well, the good news
Yeah.
is there is nothing in the interior. There are no walls.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Of the
There
Ella
isn't
School,
even a
yeah.
floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can look to see what can be done with it. Next item, now this is a personal favorite, remove the chicken coop and the old equipment from the Braun property.
Okay,
Ellen,
yes.
continue.
Okay, so I've been working on this. So there's, the fire chief wanted to use it and burn it down and remove it that way. But,
This is not a historic chicken coop, just to be clear.
no.
Controlled burn.
But there's asbestos in it. So we hired for a few $100s, not a lot. They come out and do a report. The good news is there's not that much asbestos. The bad news is, what asbestos there is not in its original state. What does that mean? It means that we have to pay the company that did the report to prepare another report to give to whatever contractor we use to tell them how to remove it. So that's their second report's another $3,000 so far, but I'm beating them up. I'll get it for less. And it also has to be done at prevailing wage. It's a town-owned building, town-owned chicken coop. We may be the only town that has its own chicken coop, by the way. And so.
Inside 495.
We're not restoring the chicken coop. Don't let Nate take a look at it, we'll end up restoring it. So it's more complicated. Adding to the complication is, there's no way to get in.
To the Braun property, yeah.
So we have to figure out how to take a section of the stone wall down, right? So we can have a staging area to get equipment in there to remove the asbestos. And then this third complication is there's a lot of equipment there that they just left, old tractors and tire, just junk. The good news is, there is good news, you should always end with good news. When this is removed, it is a beautiful piece of land. It just is, I can't explain it any better. There's a meadow behind it, and it's a rectangle, and it's beautiful. But we got to get through all this. I'm working on it, and we'll take a look when the bids start to come in. I'm getting 3 bids. I got one so far at prevailing wage. I'm not going to share it. It's
How
not.
are they bidding without the RFP done?
Well, they're supposed to go, I know, originally it was the other way around, but they're supposed to go and take a look at it, put their bid in, then they give it to the consultant, and they take a look at it and tweak it if they have to.
Yeah,
It's not that complicated.
yeah.
But we're moving forward.
All right, the next one is designate the second floor of the train station Lansing Millis Memorial Building as a museum and showcase for items from the Oak Grove Farmhouse. At the very least, we need to get the items up there to store them in a dry, safe environment until we can address any, or get final permitting
Yep.
for access for the second floor. At least it can be a decent storage space and then work towards getting it opened as a museum. But if we were to vote that we'd like it to be a museum, we can take that to the building inspector, try to work through the building issues to get the second floor open to be used. So that's, I think we need to get the artifacts into a safe environment, and that is a safe environment. Next item would be investigate traffic flow and streetlights on 109, and that's you again, Ellen.
Did I put that on?
I thought you did.
Oh, yeah, the street, I want to talk to
Not
you
me.
about that. The ornamental lights.
Oh,
Oh,
The ornamental lights.
all 10 of them? We bought 10, and there's 10
Oh, that's
knocked
what you
down.
meant by streetlights. This was my interpretation of what you
No,
were saying.
no, the ornamental lights, we need to decide as a board how to move forward with these ornamental lights that are costing us a fortune.
yeah.
What do you
I think that now that we have 10 tops already here, there's 10 bottoms on the way. There's 10 knocked
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Literally
Yeah.
10, from Alpaca all the way
We
to
have
We
four,
just-
like in the
well,
last month.
We
Yeah.
just recoup about 17,000 from insurance.
insurance, which there's
For one of
5 or
them at
6 of them
least.
that
Yeah.
there's going to be
Yeah.
their insurance claims. But if we have that stockpile,
But we
Yeah. We
don't.
should be
You
able-
just
we-
said,
well,
Well, we,
coming.
we can probably get it right back until the next accident.
right,
That's
but
what it sounds like.
every accident that, if we use one of ours, it comes in and it replaces the one that it was knocked down, so.
Yep.
I mean, other than that, or we just, I know we can't vote to take them down, because, me and you would be, you
Yeah.
think,
I'd race you out there.
yeah, but we wouldn't be a happy group of people.
Yeah, so we'll leave
Residents.
that on, and I'll
Yeah.
change it to say ornamental streetlights.
Yeah.
Okay, review of charter. This was mine. I think I took off because I like to have 5 goals also, not anymore, not any less, 5 main categories. So I put review of charter. I said create a charter commission as described in Article 5 of the town charter. This commission will consist of elected representatives who will evaluate the entire charter and bring proposals back to town meeting. If town meeting votes to approve the recommendations, a vote will be held at the ballot. After those 2 votes, any changes to the charter will go into effect. And then Jim amended it to say include consideration of 5-member select
So
board.
I'm willing to remove that right at this time, because I agree with, because the charter commission, if we'd appoint the charter commission right
No,
now,
the
Well, no,
charter
no,
commission
they get
is
elected.
they get
They
elected.
elected.
Then that's what,
Yeah,
Well, they
those
would
are the people
certainly
that,
look at
that
that.
that would
Decide
get
whether
elected,
it's
they would
5,
make that
right.
decision. So
You're right.
Yep.
that was just my opinion. If that, I'm
Yeah.
okay to take that off.
perfect. And the way that would work for anybody watching at home, basically, we would announce, should we decide to implement this goal, and I
Yep.
hope we do, we would decide to appoint a charter commission of 3, 5, 7, or 9 members. That's to be determined. We get to make that call.
Yep.
Not appoint, we get to authorize a commission.
Yep.
And then in May of 2027, they would run at the town elections. So if you have, let's say we have a commission of 5, and 7 people pull papers to run, they'd get their signatures, they'd run for the charter commission, they'd be elected, and they would review the entire charter. I'd be disappointed if we had a charter commission who looked at just one item in that charter, because
Right.
the whole thing needs work.
Right.
But Article 5 says that, that any change to the select board or town meeting has to be done by an elected charter commission. And so they could, and what they can decide to do is whatever they decide to do. They could recommend a 3-member board, a 5-member board, a 9-member town council, removing town meeting from the equation entirely. They could vote to go from open town meeting to elected town meeting, and that's all the purview of those 3, 5, 7, or 9 people, always an odd number, that are elected, and they come back and report on that. So then what would happen is, let's say that takes 18 months, so November of, give them enough time to meet once a month to come up with a good answer. I gotta do my math. So November of '28, there'd be a vote at town meeting, and then May of '29, a vote on the ballot. And then any changes that happen, if it moves to a 5-member board, 5 members would run in May of 2030. Or not 5 members, but there'd be one person up for reelection plus 2 additionals would run to fill partial terms.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
I think that's the only process that,
Yeah,
you can't, if you're going to ask somebody to run for something in May, which
Yeah.
That's a lot quicker than I thought was gonna get done, that somebody was gonna run in May for this. You can't saddle them with, oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Jim McKay wants you to consider a 5-member. I mean, you want,
Yeah.
you
You look
you
at
want,
the whole
you want,
charter,
you want,
so,
the whole
yeah.
charter needs to be looked at, and this is one of the,
Yeah.
and I'd stand up and voice my opinion, or
Right.
anybody else can stand up
Yeah,
and
and I
voice
would
their opinion.
expect that it would be people that probably aren't involved, maybe former people
Yeah.
on boards and stuff, because I don't think it'd be appropriate for one of the three of us to sit on
No.
it. But I think that we should be, yeah, I say appropriate, but I don't need to do that.
No.
But, so I think that what it would be is, I think that they'd be remiss if they didn't call in all former and current select board members to voice opinions on it when they get to Article 5. But I expect they start at Article 1 and work their way through. And there's a lot of items that need addressed. We did change the town clerk position, because that one doesn't require the Article 5 rule. We did change the town administrator's role, because that didn't require Article 5. But there are quite a few others that do require review in this process.
And that is
Yeah.
one of them, and I think
Yeah.
that people miss that, when Mr. McCaffrey got up there and spoke
Yeah.
eloquently, and he was correct. Because I know I went back and I researched it,
Yeah.
and he was 100% correct in his discussion at town meeting. And, shame on the rest of us who weren't prepared to counter his
Yeah.
whatever. He was right.
Yeah,
So this is the only way you can do it.
He was on the original charter commission,
Correct.
wasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not the original one.
Not the original one. He won't like that. I tell him
You
that.
will not like that.
All right, strike that from the record.
Yeah. He was on a charter commission.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yes, but he was
yeah,
the most recent one.
Yeah.
When was the most recent one, do you know?
I was on it, but it was appointed.
Yeah, it was,
I don't think Jim was on it. I think he spoke.
wasn't?
on
no, he
it.
was a,
No.
he was a select board
He was a
member.
select board
appointed.
member.
Maybe.
If it
Yeah.
was appointed, that
Well,
was wrong.
That's
Right,
well,
we
the
were
appointed
wrong.
one's a committee. This is a
Right.
commission.
It was a
It's an
com-
elected
Okay.
commission.
And we were allowed to do everything we tried to do except for the 5-member
No,
select
it might have
board.
been a commission.
So that was beyond this purview of the committee, and that's why we're going to do it right this time. And then theoretically, not that I'll ever have to worry about it again, every 10 years, an election should be called for to review it. So,
Okay.
I'm just trying to think if any of us are going to have to worry about that.
No,
No,
no.
So if you're watching and you're young and you want to be on the select board, remember in 10 years, you have to have a charter commission. Okay, economic development. These were already on there, the overlay district and sewer capacity from an adjoining town, no changes there, no proposed changes. Expand town service, services for seniors, create, I'm on item 5. I'm on the one that Karen emailed, the combined
No, you're in
one.
the wrong.
You're in the
You're
wrong
in your
On this
own.
one.
It's this English,
Go on the screen.
the cheat sheet.
Oh, on the screen.
Closing in on bedtime here, it seems.
All right, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, increased services for seniors, continue to create cause for celebration, improve external communication, ongoing website and ClearGov improvements, publish all agendas on town Facebook pages and websites, and actively encourage public
Ooh,
comment.
Can I ask a question? We do not currently publish agendas on the Facebook page.
I put it on the town Facebook page.
Put them on the Facebook
Yeah.
page moving forward?
Yeah, I think what's our thought on that? I think it doesn't hurt.
What do you currently put on our Facebook?
So legally, the only place that we are required to legally post.
the town
is
website.
No, is the town clerk's office with a
Bulletin
hard
board.
copy on a bulletin board.
That's the official legal copy.
We publish it on the website so that citizens can see what we're doing.
Okay,
So it's always on the website, and it's always published on a Thursday prior. It's
Okay.
always put on the website the Thursday before a Monday meeting.
Yeah.
okay.
I don't think it would be bad to put it.
But we
on
can
the
certainly
town
start
Facebook
putting it
page.
on Facebook, but that's why I'm bringing it up, because I don't usually put it on Facebook, but we can.
If you're producing it, it makes sense. Just
I
the
mean,
agenda, not the packet.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, the packet goes on
Right.
at noon-ish. I
Friday.
do the best I can at
Friday.
noon.
Yeah.
No?
Monday.
No, it goes to
Yeah.
you guys on Friday, so you have
Oh.
time to digest it. It
Yeah.
goes public on Monday.
Okay.
So that everybody has time for the afternoon if they want to look at it before they come to the meeting, or they can follow along at the meeting with it.
Yeah, and I believe that the website replaced the town crier with a bell who would read it aloud on the
Yes,
corner.
yes.
Yeah.
So-
Charter change.
But I can certainly put it on the Facebook page as well if you want that
Yeah.
to occur. That's
Yeah.
easy.
And so we'll push it out there. Paul, did you have
Perfect.
something you wanted to say?
Thanks, Paul Simpson, 52 Island Road. I think it comes under improve external communications. It might be sort of related to actively encourage public comment on all agenda items. In the past, I know that in some select board meetings, someone in the audience has come up and tried to ask a random question that really wasn't related to a select board agenda topic. Is it possible to, like, I don't know if it has to do with open meeting law regulations, but is there a way to have a vehicle, whether it's a, Q&A session or something like the Millis Moment, where people from the audience can come up and just ask? I know you'd have to keep guardrails on it, you don't want to sidetrack the meeting, but where people could, like, ask a question that may be of interest, or even, like, you probably get inquiries from the public via email. So something like, we had in the last 2 weeks inquiries about X, Y, and Z. And if it's something that maybe, not wanted, like, personal information, like, situations, but if it's something that might be of interest to a wider audience, like, here's the questions we were asked, and here's some of our answers, type of thing.
Well, there's two answers to that. First, we having an open public comment, if it's not on the agenda, we're not allowed to address it. So you can get up there and ask the best question in the world, and I can have the right answer ready to discuss, but if it's not an item on the agenda, I can't say a word about it, because that violates open meeting. We didn't publish that we're going to talk about that, so I can't answer your question. We do have a vehicle, and that's not in this article, this document, but in another document, we have our procedures. You can email the town hall, and they'll forward it to me, the chair, and the chair can put any item they choose on the agenda. I don't think we can do just emails I've received, because it has to spell out a topic.
Yeah, I don't think town council would
Yeah.
recommend that.
Yeah, but I'm more than willing to consider items that are appropriate and have an interest to add to the agenda. So questions that are asked can be sent here. Now, other towns have gone with the open discussion for the first 20 minutes, and I've watched videos, and one of them, because they allow 3 minutes of comment, for 3 minutes, one person repeatedly came up, and I don't mean insulted, I can take insults all day long, but just the foulest, most vicious stream of profanity without a verb, just profanity, not directed at anybody, just saying it into the microphone, and you can't stop them. The town has decided that, not the town, the state has decided that we can't, if we allow the free speech, we can't abridge the free speech. And I'm not willing to roll the dice on that. But I am more than willing for anything of any reasonable request, especially if it's in broad interest of the people in the town, to add it to the agenda at a future meeting. And that's actually covered in our operating principles.
Okay, great.
I will say,
Thank you.
Paul, I
Yeah.
will say this, though, I'm not on Facebook a lot, but when I do, and I see a few comments that are, I can say, wow, these people have questions. I go to Karen, I say, that'd make a great municipal moment.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've added a few of those items that we've seen, and other times, items get put on the agenda based on that
And-
unofficially.
I just want to add, Mr. Chair, because I've done a lot of things with the open meeting law, that part of that, putting it on the agenda is to protect the public. That's so that you, like you said, we had no idea you were going to talk about that at a meeting. So now some random person comes up and says, oh, I've been seeing this, and they end up having this big discussion about it. And then there are other people who are like, well, if I'd known that was on the agenda, I would have come to speak. So that's why they put the open meeting law in place. That's why everything has to be on the agenda, so that everybody knows what's going to be talked about and you don't miss it. So, it goes both ways.
Got it, okay.
So it doesn't work well all the time, that's for sure, but that's why they established it.
Well, we certainly wouldn't want a situation like the one you were just describing.
Yeah.
but-
Oh,
Same
there are, you
person,
do
time
a little
after time.
Googling on meetings and you'll see some things that we don't want to see here.
Ask the select board junkie who watches more than too
Canton.
many select board meetings of different towns that actually have them.
Watch
And,
Canton.
They're,
It's tough.
it's tough. And then you could
Well,
sit
it's a
here and you
one-way
can't say anything. You
conversation,
can't, you
too.
can't say nothing.
No.
You can't respond.
Yeah, but if you do get bored and want to watch some fun stuff and appreciate what we do here more, you can watch the one where one of the members gets up, yells a few profanities and throws her budget book and storms out.
Storms out of the meeting.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
this-
And quit, just walked out. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
So there's a lot of good ones to watch.
All right, thank you, I get
And
it.
honestly, anything that you send, if you send it to me, if you send it to Mike, if you send it to the board, they will we'll always look at it to be put on, so.
You say it's a lot of good ones to watch. We don't want Millis to be one of those ones
No.
Please.
that you watch people just hurl insults.
Yes,
Doesn't
back.
help anyone.
yeah,
Of course you're
I'm
back.
back.
yeah.
Heidi Gilmore, 13 Evergreen Terrace. Quick comment, I think it's a fabulous idea to post the agenda on Facebook. I really do. It extends reach, provides
Yep.
more transparency. You can always just link back to the page on the town website so that if anything changes, you don't have to worry about updating everything all over the place. I think it's great.
And when we have
Yeah.
the new website.
Ellen's saying I'm supposed to move hers over, but I put my own up this time on Millis
I saw
Public
it.
Forum.
Greg posted
I'm not giving her credit anymore.
He used to grab, I posted on mine.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I don't post on the public one because I don't know how. But he does, and he used to grab it and put it, but it-
But with the new website, and if people are
I'm going to
following
grab
Town of
from the new
Millis,
New website.
with the new website, if you add the app, you'll be able to, I believe, you'll be able to opt in so that it will pop up and say there's an agenda that you'll be able to just click to. So, again, bear with us as we try to navigate this new website, but we will get it going.
awesome.
And Scott Fusey, 411 Union Street. I'm a paper guy, but I believe putting it on
I'm a
Facebook.
paper guy too.
I believe putting it
We
on
also
Facebook
print.
is good. I think it's great, but I've always felt the town's been transparent, man. I think I've been at many meetings where people come in, well, I didn't know you were gonna discuss that. Well, we've discussed it for 2 weeks. You go into town meeting, well, I don't remember that. Well, they had 5 meetings already, the finance, select board, and planning board. So I've always felt the town's been transparent, so that's the way I believe in it. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And then the other third item, we talked all around, but actively encourage public comment on agenda items being discussed. The chair has the right to limit public comment after a reasonable time has elapsed. As long as I'm chair, I will allow public comment on any item on the agenda. I know there's been other chairs who haven't and restricted it, not recently, but I've sat in meetings where you are, when I was in the finance committee, wanting to make a comment and being told there was no comment to be allowed. So we will allow comment on the agenda item when the agenda item comes up. That doesn't mean I'm going to let the comments run for an hour and a half. Unless there's 100 people here who all want to talk, then we might. So, but if it's just one person who's got a 30-minute diatribe, I'm going to cut that. And then provide additional funding. We've had funding requests for the Millis Cultural Council and American Legion building repairs. Both of those could use additional funding from free cash. If there is funding available, I'd like to see if we could look into those. And then fund sources for digitalization of old files, currently stored in boxes. And this is one of Ellen's, I'll let her speak about it.
It is one of mine. But I know we have a person, right? Don't we have a work-off person that's trying to
Yes, that's
digitize?
right,
And didn't you
yeah.
get some money?
Yes, Jim
What?
Donovan.
What are
Jim
you
Donovan
laughing?
received a grant, and we actually also have a grant in the Board of Health.
Why are you laughing? It doesn't look like it's real.
Sorry. Yes, no, he's absolutely right. Yes, no, we did get a grant for the Board of Health where somebody actually came in and did it. And we do have a senior work-off who's doing a great job, but it's a very.
I know it
There's
is.
a lot of work.
Time-consuming.
I know
It's
it
a
is.
lot of work. What we really need is to get a company in here. Like I said, the biggest thing is the naming convention. So great, you can scan something and, well, what are you calling
I
it?
know.
Yep.
And how does that all get logged? And then how do you look it up, or does it just get scanned in and then you're still just scrolling through? Like, there has to be someone who can do that. That's the hard part. The scanning in is
Metadata.
not the hard part.
Has to be
So,
cataloged so it can be.
I'm
reviewed
laughing because
relatively
I want it to be done. I wish we had it.
know.
It would be great, but it's just a lot.
But can't you use some of that, you got a little bit of funding, that doesn't,
Well, yeah, I
even
mean, right
get-
now, our IT director has a grant to work on setting up the framework.
okay.
And the Board of Health received a grant to start going through their actual files. And we have a tax work-off person that's working on some of our files. So we're making progress, but it's gonna be measured in years, not months.
know,
And we're just,
And again, it will continually get better because there's less and less paper, right? I mean, I say
Yes.
that, then you come in our office and I'm drowning in paper, but as far as keeping the files, I mean, we print things for working on, but everything moving forward is being kept electronically. So it will eventually
Right,
tip, but
right.
I know.
Because that's
I
the
know.
room in the basement,
Yeah, and the
Room in the
advantage of that
basement is
is,
full.
full of files.
when that room is cleaned out, we do get more space for senior center. So it's a win all the way around. Better access for records and more usable space in the building.
but we have consolidated it, and we did free up a room, but the rooms that are still used for storage are very full
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, all right. The next item on the agenda was the discussion of select board operating policies. I encourage everybody to read those. I went through them. If you have any comments, suggestions, or changes, we can send them to Karen. There's only one that I saw that I will bring up. On page 7, it does say that the agenda will be posted on Friday. We're doing it on Thursday now. We might as well.
I noticed
Yeah.
on this section, there
Yeah.
needs to be an update. I was gonna make some recommendations on that
Yeah.
going forward.
Is that
Yeah.
Page 7.
Second paragraph talks about Fridays when the agenda will be posted. We've all just
Yeah.
said Thursday, so let's make it Thursday.
Yeah, so, yes, so there's something to be
probably before
updated
opening,
there.
huh?
And,
Did you highlight your
I think that
performance appraisal? Because
There
I
you go.
highlighted that, yeah.
All right,
Uh,
so that's the second, yeah.
but yeah, it would be good if, we could do a similar process if, in reviewing this, you individually wanted to send
Yeah.
items to Karen, and we could review it and see if there's a way to improve sections of this for clarity and
I thought it was good.
Yeah, some of it was very
Yeah,
interesting.
right.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
that 200 registered voters could request a special town meeting.
it says,
And then it takes 100 of them to put anything on it. So you get
Yeah.
200 of your friends request one, but if you don't get anything on the agenda, we just meet and do nothing. So,
Oh, yeah, it contradicts itself.
that's what I was gonna point out.
but we need a quorum to have that meeting, so go figure. Actually, the number required to request it should probably match the number needed for a quorum, which is more than 200, I would think, but maybe I'm wrong.
It's 200 to originally get a special town meeting, but once it's
Right.
called, then anyone else with 100 signatures
Can
can
add
add
something.
to
Can
the
add
warrant.
Got it. The select board can call one anytime they choose.
Select board can call one of them every month if you want to.
I have
Wouldn't
no
recommend it.
desire to do that. Okay. All right,
Okay, what do we got?
next item. The Taste of Millis. Oh, we've talked about it, but
Oh,
now we
wait,
have to,
Didn't I have on my list the town-owned properties, or no?
you did, I thought.
You didn't say them.
Well,
I
they,
missed them.
We're putting them back out there.
oh, all the town-owned property, yeah, the small parcels.
Yes.
We have several, let's make sure we add that all.
Is it, did I miss it on the group one?
Maybe I missed it when I was going through it. But the small town-owned parcels that,
To resell them again? Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
putting them back on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Buyer beware.
Yeah.
But we are. We're putting them back on.
Yes.
I don't know why we stopped, but we're putting them back on.
yeah, we voted occasionally for that. a
Yes.
couple times.
Yeah, you did have that on there, and now I don't know where it.
Okay, I'll
It's
make sure
fine.
we add it
It's
to our
fine.
list.
Add it.
Yeah,
It's fine.
but if I don't get it to one page, there won't be on there. We'll
I
just
know,
do it.
thanks.
Okay.
Small font,
Yeah,
that's not a great answer.
Ellen and I have to be able to read it. I don't know about Jim, but I got it.
I know he's got two pair of
yeah,
glasses
he
over
might
there.
be
I-
ahead of
What
us.
he's
And I
doing.
still can't even see it.
All right, what's the approval of lawn signs for the Taste? Now that we advertised it and everything else, do we?
So you are retroactively approving the signs.
Yep. That's
So
life.
if you notice, they actually, we had given them authority to put up a couple of signs because they were a little late.
Yeah,
And they wanted to get them up. So you'll notice there's 2 lawn signs on the front lawn out here. So they're
Okay.
just the little signs advertising the event, and they said they would take them down the day
Okay.
after the event, so.
Am I making a motion?
are.
You are.
I move that the board approve the request from the Tri-County Regional Chamber to place yard signs on town-owned property at the approved locations to advertise the 8th annual Taste of Tri-County event to be held at Tangerini Spring Street Farm on Tuesday, June 9.
Second.
okay, it's the 8th annual. All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
I said
opposed?
You
No.
said third.
I know.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
well, I said it's a kickoff event, so.
Okay,
All right,
another one?
yeah, we do. We have a,
Boost.
the next one is, what is
Ellen
that, the
can
Run
speak
Back to
this one,
School?
Actually, it's the Run Back to School event that they do every September, but they like to get approval way in advance.
Yep.
And they work with all the public safety departments to make sure that everything is squared away. And they did do that, so they're in good shape.
Liaisons on.
It's on the agenda, it's not on the motions.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Come on, Ellen.
Okay, it's getting late. I move that the board approve the request from the Millis Boosters to hold the annual Run Back to School 5K and 1 Mile Fun Run on September 27th in coordination with police, fire, and public works.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to allow the fun run on September 27th. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It was one of the
Opposed?
most flawless
Oh, yeah.
groups.
I know,
that-
and
that-
then-
Great job.
They do a great job
Absolutely,
with
every
it.
year.
I told her she was gonna come tonight. I'm like, they have, I
Yep.
said, Allison, unless you really
Yep.
need to come. And I just want to say a big congratulations to Allison Marr. This is her last year working on the project, as I think all her kids will have graduated. She is
Okay.
passing the torch, but she's done an unbelievable job on this,
Yes.
so.
She has. Okay, what do you got?
We've got liaison updates. Jim, you haven't been assigned anything.
I haven't been assigned to anything yet, so.
I know, when are we doing that?
So actually, so I'm sorry, we talked about doing it on this agenda,
Yeah.
but on the next agenda, you have to do all your reappointments for the fiscal year for
So we'll
all of
find
your
that.
committees,
Okay.
so.
Yep, that's good.
I'll send out the list and you can start thinking about what you
Yeah.
might like to switch to or be
Okay.
on.
I have a few things.
Yeah, you always do.
I always do. I know.
I have
You will
one.
too
Yeah, I will,
someday.
yep,
Hopefully you'll have all mine.
yep.
I had the Energy Committee meeting on,
Yes, that was good.
yeah,
Last
Yeah.
week, last Tuesday.
that was the PACE one,
Yes,
right?
yes, it was good.
We can both talk to that.
Yes.
It was very interesting. So, there was a presentation, a Zoom presentation by this PACE. You have any idea what that stands for? PACE?
And I'd have to-
Anyway, apparently, there is this thing,
Program.
a program that's put out by the state, I don't know how long, how many years, a few, where if an apartment owner who has more than 5 units, right, and industrial,
Or any commercial property.
but it has to be more than 5, commercial
Yeah, it's any
property,
commercial property or apartments.
or any commercial
Housing with more
property,
than 4.
any industrial property, and if an apartment owner for people is more than 5 units,
Yes.
you can sign on to this state agency to do energy efficiency upgrades. To have for instance, like me, if I wanted to put solar on the roof of Roach Brothers, if I want to purchase a solar array, it's millions of dollars. It's not like a person who rents it from a company and you get 10% back on your electric bill. If you purchase it, it's millions of dollars. The state wants to help you if you don't have any money, because they want you to put solar on your building to reduce power, whatever. So you can sign up with the state. The town has to adopt it. Does that have to be a town meeting, or is it just
No,
us?
select board adopts
Select
it.
Board adopts this program. We say to people, we've adopted it with the state. Now you, Ellen, you can talk to this program and sign up, and they vet me and make sure I'm worth whatever. And the town collects the money. It's a betterment.
Yeah,
It's
so
a-
it's a loan.
It's a betterment.
Instead of doing a loan, through,
Yep.
through a traditional bank, you get a loan basically from the state, but you pay it as a betterment on the property. So if moving forward, you then sell this property in 10
It
years,
runs-
but you haven't paid off the betterment, the new owner will have to finish
Right, it
paying off
runs
the
with-
betterment because it has bettered the property because you're adding energy.
So it runs with the land. Now, here's, my question was, well, we have to do work. Somebody in the tax collector
Right, would have to,
has to add it to this person's bill and send it out quarterly, collect the money, and then send that money to this agency. I said, do we make any money on this to cover that?
no.
No. I said, well, we don't have 20 people handling this. We have one. So that doesn't sound fair to me, because time is money and you're not giving us money. But then at the end of the whole thing, 85 towns and cities have adopted this program. Of the 85 towns and cities, there's been 5 closings.
5.
5. So,
So I don't think there'd be
You're
a
not worried
huge
about
run on it. It's more of just it's a service that
It's
you're
some-
providing to businesses in town.
yeah,
to-
it
to
checks a
help them
box
out.
as being an energy
Yeah,
efficient.
so I don't know, it's, the finance department is gonna have to,
Drill
speak to it
down.
and look and see, right, drill down as to what the amount of work would be and would it be worthwhile to recommend, but they do wanna come and recommend this to the board, to be adopted,
Yeah.
and part of it's, I think, very interesting. It certainly
And
encourages.
there's no liability on the part of the town. If they don't pay, the town doesn't have to
And
put the
it-
money up.
And what they say, it doesn't affect your, because it's not a traditional loan, it's not affecting your credit, or you're borrowing for other things that you want to do for improvements to your property, because it's, goes through as a betterment, so it's very good for the
Yeah.
owners.
Yeah.
It's just, it's an interesting,
it
if
was
you have a chance, take a
interesting.
look at it.
Just keep notes on it, because eventually, when the lead and copper, we have to replace, we're gonna have to fund, but the people do borrow the
Ah.
money from the town just to pay back, it's gonna be almost the same the way.
Oh,
When you have to
interesting,
replace
like a
the-
betterment kind of a
When you
thing.
replace
Oh.
their line
All right,
from their house to the
Okay.
Corporation Corp on the side.
interesting.
It'll be the same.
Makes sense.
So it was interesting, anyway.
Interesting. Then there were two other things on the Energy Committee. They're talking about the energy opt-in code for fall town meeting. And this is the one that you can't use any, if we adopt this, which we're going to probably go in front of town meeting in November, but prior to that, they're going to have a meeting, open meeting. They're going to invite the builders and people and whoever wants to comment on this. This is the one where you can't have any fossil fuels, right? If you want to get, this is the only one I remember. There's a lot, but if you want a gas stove, you're building a new house and you want a gas stove, you have to put a small solar array on your roof to
Seriously.
offset.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
That-
this is real. Just saying. And Millis, it's another checked box. Millis will get more grant money. It's this whole carrot thing that, it's a little annoying, but the state's going to require it at some point, even if we don't adopt it in November. It's coming. So that was that. And then the third piece we talked about was Tree City. Because unbeknownst to the Energy Committee, who's been talking about becoming a tree city for over 2 years, did not know that we had a shadow government working with Brutus, who was working with the
Harrison McPhee.
Harrison McPhee and got us to be a tree city.
Yep.
So, nobody knew it on the Energy Committee.
And with the town seal, that's very appropriate, isn't
Yeah.
it?
The elm tree,
Yeah.
whatever we got there.
Oak
Is it oak?
Tree League, Oak Tree this. Oak
Anywho,
that.
we're a tree city.
Oak Grove.
So I happen
Yeah.
to be driving through Norfolk. As soon as you cross, you're in Village,
I saw it.
as
Yep,
soon as
yep.
you cross over, as
Norfolk.
soon as you enter Norfolk, the first sign you see is, we're a tree city. Then when you come off of 95 from the Cape, and you come up past the Lafayette House, and you enter into Norfolk, as soon as you enter in, there's a Tree City sign.
So we need to get some signs.
Yeah.
I could take two from Norfolk, but we probably should get our own.
Talk to Brutus, he's got a sign
Will we
shop.
just white out
Yeah.
Norfolk?
Anyway, we want to have some sort of
Ceremony, yeah.
Yeah.
a ceremony. We want to invite the McPhees.
Yep.
Yeah,
This sounds like a good municipal moment to me.
Yeah.
Okay,
excellent.
because
I think that would be a
They-
lovely municipal moment.
they were crucial.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know Brutus, I'm sure they were crucial.
Of course they were.
Well, don't forget, they donated the Christmas tree out front.
Yeah,
Yes,
They
they
trimmed
did.
all the trees around the front of the
they
town
did.
hall every year.
yeah, I think it'd be
Um,
worth having them in for
It'd be
municipal
great.
moment.
Good.
All right,
I got.
I
Daughter's on
attended
the
the
fire
school
department.
building committee, and we discussed permitting updates, we discussed design updates, we discussed phasing changes.
Cool.
The contractor is working with the architect to modify the phasing plan a little bit, because the contractor said, you don't want to do it that way. That's going to be harder to do. But they all are on the same page, they're all pulling in the right direction. This is exactly why you do the type of contract we did, where the designer and builder are working together from day one. GC at risk, I guess is what's called. And they're working together, so there's going to be phasing plans put out that are slightly different from what we had. Gets us the same place, gets the thing built, but what happens at what point makes a lot of sense. So everything's on schedule, we're getting permits pulled, we're getting phasing done, we're getting final design done. Final design is impacted by phasing considerations, so it's kind of circular, but they're getting there, so it's moving forward.
Awesome.
All right.
I also went to the Economic Development Committee, I forgot. I
Thought you
think,
were done.
are we looking for another contractor to finish that up? The plan,
I
the
don't know.
permitting
I
guide?
don't know where that stands.
Where are we with that, Mike?
I'll talk to Mr. Weiss and get back to you on that.
Okay.
I don't want to speak out of turn on that. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
All right, next two items we have are the water and sewer commitment and minutes, so.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In your packet is the two
Got a
water
motion
and
coming
sewer commitments. And I am recommending that the board approve the May 2026 water sewer commitment to the collector for a total commitment of $2,668.91.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, pass unanimous.
Thank you. And I also am recommending that the board approve the FY '26 fourth quarter water sewer commitment to the collector for a total commitment of $984,878.29.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass unanimously.
Great, thank
Can
you.
I just ask the town administrator one quick question? The 2,668.9, is that good or bad? Is that, maybe I should know that, but I'm just, is that a good amount, or is that, it sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah,
If that's all we're going
It's a good question.
out for, right? Maybe we can ask the.
yeah,
ask
I
Jen.
don't think I think it's neutral.
Is it? Okay.
I don't,
A lot
I've
of them
seen,
fall in that range.
Is it?
yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of them fall similar to
Okay.
that.
Yep.
So I don't
I
think
think
it's
that's
a
pretty
matter
good.
of any problems we're having, or
Yeah,
anything like
that's
that.
good.
All right, the last item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from 4:27.
The last item. I move that the board approve the 4/27/26 draft meeting minutes as written.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now we'll head into executive session, so Ellen?
I move that the board enter executive session to discuss strategy sessions in preparation for contract negotiations with union personnel. Do I say AFSCME, Council 93?
Okay.
And to consider the purchase, exchange, taking, lease, or value of real property if such discussion may have a detrimental effect on the negotiation position of the governmental body, 61A property. And return to open session for the sole purpose of adjournment. Roll call?
Second.
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 Okay, so moved and seconded, we have to do a roll call vote. Jim?
Yes.
Ellen?
Yes.
Myself is a yes also. All right,
Not bad,
meet you in
Have a good
executive
night.
session.
not bad.
Next meeting is June 15th.